So this was my first attempt at building a rocking chair. Look at the state of this ugly, floppy, Green Mile looking piece. I need to redeem myself. I'm going to build the greatest rocking chair ever made. This prototype wasn't a complete loss. I'm going to keep the dimensions of the chair, they were good. And I'm going to keep the idea of the slats, but with a bit of a twist. But I've got to address the rigidity of the chair, the structural integrity. I'm going to go for the concept of like this mini workbench that I built. I know that this is solid. I've done some test pieces like the workbench, but these have got like a slight angle on them, so they like an A frame. So where's my timber? I was initially going to build the chair out of this dimension of wood, but it didn't really need to be that thick, so I cut it down. I could have bought the wood at this dimension. I could be wrong here, but I worked it out that it'd be £17 more. So I saved a bit of money, but yeah. So first, I'm going to cut the back and front legs. I need to cut the angles. I'm going to go in at like 10 degrees. I'm cutting the legs at 55 centimetres. Just making sure that I get cutting my angles right. I need to cut the top and the bottom the same way, so the top's flat. So there we go, I need 4 of them. Now I'm going to go for the cross sections, and these angles will go inwards. So the top cross section will be 59 centimetres, and the bottom one, I'm going to cut it at 67 centimetres. I need 2 of each of these. So I've got all my pieces for my A-frame. Time to assemble. I want to be hiding the screws later on, so I'm just going to countersink first. I did forget to glue the first joint, but I did go back and glue it. So I've cut these cross sections at 50 centimeters. I wanted to avoid using pocket screws in this project after the last one, but I felt it was the best method of joining them together. So I cut some of the original dimensioned wood to fill in these gaps at the front and the back. So now I want to fill in all these gaps here on the side. I give it a glue up. And I've cut pieces of wood to size, and I'm going to fill in all the gaps. When it came to the other side, I just ended up nailing all the pieces on, because I've only got so many clamps. And I'm just going to fill these gaps in on the inside. Here I'm just going to clamp the backrest on and test the length and the angle of the backrest. I think I should have been using a dowlier to hang the cord or the rope on, but I had these like tubes lying about that are off old blinds, like the weights off the blinds. I'm just using some rope here just to test out the seat. Not bad, but I think it needs to be a bit higher at the back. There we go. Yeah, liking this. So I'll cut the back to size, 79 centimeters and a 20-degree angle. The coach bolts that I bought for this project, they're too short, but luckily I found one 8mm bolt that could fit in to this hole. And for the rest of the bolts, I did have these spare bolts that I could use. Problem is, the thread doesn't go all the way up the bolt, so I use these nuts as spacers. I took the backrests off again because I forgot that I wanted to like round the tops off like you would see on like a deck chair. I did all those same steps for these armrests as I did for the back, with an angle at the back. So I've learned a new word. I'd never seen or heard this word before. Macrame. It's when I was researching knots I came across this. And it gave me an idea for doing the slats on the chair. I like a spiral. So I saw this and I thought I've got to do that. So I got me some cord off Amazon. This like cotton rope. I start off by tying onto the pole by using a lark's head knot, it's called. So I'm learning off this video. I think she's called Majestic Macrame. It's called like a half square knot. Here we go. First try. I think I'm the first man to do macrame on YouTube. And I don't want any comments saying I've got girly hands. I did get the hang of it after a while. I cut these slats at 50 centimetres. I drilled 4 holes on each side and threaded the rope through. And for the spaces in between the slats, I'm going to tie just 3 knots. Once I get past the armrests, the slats are shorter to fit in between at 41 centimetres. So the two outside ropes get shorter as you tie the knots, because you're tying around the two middle ones. And because I only had one red rope, I had to cut it in half, and it's not long enough, so I've run out of rope. Initially I was going to continue with just 2 ropes and change the knot, and I was doing this snake knot, but I did abandon that, and I did go back to the half square knots. So here I'm going to test it out, see how it is. I've got one slat hitting the armrest, so I'm just going to cut it down with the jigsaw. And yeah, now it's feeling good. Just finish off with sand. So here I drilled some extra holes so I can thread some more rope through and do the half square knots. And screwed the slats on from the bottom like this and glued. And using this wood stain for protection of the wood. I've used it before on this chair and it's holding up pretty good. I don't want the video to go on too long, so I'm going to show me making the rockers in the next video. And I'll give a good review of the chair as well. Here it is. I'm not too sure about the black stain, but probably grew on me. And unfortunately, this section here, it digs into the back of your legs. So you do have to put a cushion on, which does hide all my fancy knots. But there you go.